Welcome to Wisdom Wednesday number 62. Is suffering needed for enlightenment? Question. Is it within the Divine's plan that I should suffer in order to become enlightened? No. The Divine has nothing within its plan that you should suffer. As a matter of fact, it's the opposite. The Divine wants you, or is inviting you even, to enter into the domain of bliss, oneness, eternal freedom. So it's not that you should suffer because you should suffer, and it's not that the Divine or God is trying to punish you with your suffering from something you've done in the past, and it's not that the Divine is trying to create a difficult situation for you to challenge you so that you can get empowered even. This is all the talk of the ego. And the ego is from the dualistic perspective of living. So it gives these kinds of answers to kind of satisfy the mind. But this is not the truth of the Divine. The Divine wants you to live in the state of oneness. Does not need or want you to suffer. There's no want even for the sake, from the Divine's perspective. It's a reality. So, why do you suffer? That would be the question. You're suffering because of your inability to live in the oneness state of consciousness. So because you believe that the world is real and that all the things that are happening in the world are of a changing nature, and you believe in that and you invest in all these changing phenomena, then the natural result will be suffering because it's all dualistic. It's dividing. And so suffering comes from the vision of duality. So when you're in the state of oneness, you don't suffer because there's nothing in that oneness that will divide. So a more important question might be, how can you avoid future suffering? We can't avoid the suffering that we've had in the past because that's done and over with. And we really can't avoid the suffering that we're experiencing now because this is the result of things that have happened in the past. But we do have within our ability to prevent future suffering. Now, every human being has what I call a karmic pot of past experiences or sanskars, they're called, like past impressions or past experiences that have unfinished their karmic cycle. So those things are kind of waiting, they're pending, they're waiting to live out the results of the actions that you've done in the past. So they come in the form of desires, expectations, longings, hopes. They come in the form of things that you've done in the past. And all of this is sitting there in the pot waiting for that most opportune moment to give you the result of your actions. So you're going to have, these experiences are inevitable. They're going to happen, especially if you continue to live from your dualistic perspective. So how can you avoid the pain or the suffering that is inevitable? And you do that by practicing the state of oneness. Now, it's one thing to decide to have very positive intentions, and so you're going to do good actions and have positive intentions and make good decisions, and you're going to get the positive results. It's one thing to live and live a good life. Do good actions, you get a good life. But if you want enlightenment, then that's a whole other story. That's a whole other implementation that you'll have to think about. It's not just good results that you want. You want enlightenment, and that's different. That's a state of oneness. So if you want enlightenment, you have to make the decision with all of your being that that's the state you want to live in all the time. It has to come from a deep commitment and a knowledge and awareness that oneness is real. It's a real state that you can live day to day in your physical body. And knowing that with absolute conviction, making that your decision that I'm not going to just simply do good actions to get good results. I'm going to merge, blend, dissolve, let go of my individual I, and let it and surrender. In a sense, surrendering the ego's dualistic version or perspective of life, kind of offer it up, let go, and merge with the divinity that is your ultimate true nature, that is absolute consciousness, existence, and bliss. That's your true nature. And you have the right to live that in this moment. It's your responsibility, though, to claim it, to own it. You can't just expect that it will happen to you. It cannot happen to you. You have to decide to merge with that, which is that I'm talking about is your source, your innate privilege to live that state. It has nothing to do with the suffering that you have lived or the suffering that you are about to live. It has nothing to do with that. You can drop all of your suffering if you decide to commit to the vision of oneness. And that is your complete right to live. So that's it. No suffering is needed. And it's not enough just to do good actions to get good results. You need to merge with your original state of being, and that's your higher self. So just do that work in your meditation, in your everyday life. Remember the divine as your own true self, moment to moment to moment. And that's it for today's Wisdom Wednesday. See you next Wednesday. Bye.